Hey, with you, we're gonna go ahead and get started.
Huh?
What's going on, Florida? What's going on, Gainesville? It's your boy Drake Jerkins right here on Florida Hip Hop Radio. And it is now, 19 past 8 and a wet 69 degrees outside. So, y'all, drive safe out there, please. But none other, I have a very, very, very special guest this evening. We know very well about the Dream Defenders up here, but we have none other than Miss Zora in the building. I love
Hey
that
guys.
name.
Thank you.
I love that name. And Zora's an organizer with the Dream Defenders. Do you do anything else? Any other titles? You're the treasurer or something? Or?
Not really.
No.
I've been transitioning into becoming more part of the Dream Defenders.
But you're here, so
Exactly.
let's
I'm
just
here.
do your thing, man. So we're gonna be talking today about the Know Your Rights training. We keep us safe. I love that title. Let's first talk a little bit about you, Zora. Like I said off the air, we're not gonna ask any. You don't want to know about your celebrity crush or whatever. But I do want to talk to you just a little bit about how you arrived in this chair with the works that you've done. So let's first start with any early signs of activism when you were a little kid, when you were out there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
For sure. Well, I'm Haitian.
Okay.
And both of my parents are Haitian immigrants.
Tucson, Louisville, right there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we
Love
won't
that.
play about that. That's
Love
my
that.
favorite history topic.
Okay,
But anyway,
cool. Okay, anyway,
I don't want to talk. Yeah, because we'll talk about the Haitian Revolution the whole time.
That should be another segment. That should be another
We would
segment.
talk about it, so I'm not gonna do that because I would. Trust me. But my bad. Do you think?
But that was a really important part because growing up, it was a lot of just not just even low key bias or racial bias for me, but just outright people would just walk up to me.
Well, let me ask you. I'm sorry to mean to cut you. Where'd you grow up?
Boston and South Florida.
Wow.
All the Haitian hubs. I kind of just browse the Haitian hubs.
Now I didn't know that Boston was a Haitian hub at all.
Dorchester?
I did not know that. Because I was gonna say that seems like two totally different spots, but no. Because one thing I know about Haitians, y'all are always sticking together, but for real,
Yeah.
that's real. I always admired that actually. So you grew up in Boston and South Florida.
Yeah.
So yeah, take me back to like I say, your early signs of activism, or just how did you even become so aware?
It's a lot of just the historical trauma that happened that my parents made sure I was aware of growing up, and also just having people be outwardly just racist towards me because of how I look, despite a lot of people say I don't even look Haitian. And I remember even one time when I was younger, someone was like, "You look so pretty, you have to have some white in you," or something like that. So it's just it's things like that. It's just it's always been kind of upcoming for me,
right.
Based on just living with my parents or just so many family members, because it's hard to just not be a part of that while also having that history as a Haitian one and just living in America.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward to I'm assuming you came to Gainesville for school.
Right.
So how'd you get involved with Dream Defenders?
I'm pretty sure there's two different avenues. I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure.
Sounds interesting.
Primarily, I got involved through this other friend that I knew through this production company, and they were just very adamant about being just active within the community, having community conversations. And Dream Defenders is one of the organizations that they kind of just steered me to.
Nice.
Yeah, so I was kind of just led towards that through my friends, and it kind of just built from there. When I was 18, they kind of got me with volunteering for a concert or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even remember who I wanted to see, but I first started canvassing, and it was super fun, and it just went better than I expected. So I kind of stayed with Dee Dee since then.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about Dee Dee a little bit. Talk about the organization a little bit, as much as you can describe it for people that don't know about it, and then I want you to talk a little bit about Godsville Dream Defenders, because I know the Gainesville chapter is special as well.
Okay. So Dee Dee in general, it's a youth abolitionist specifically organization, and it aims to just increase just like freedoms for people that are just like getting revoked. Like for example, we have this thing called the Freedom Papers, and like one of the basic freedoms is like just like freedom of movement or like freedom to be, and it's just like its aim is really to just uplift people. That's like what I got, especially just like first joining Dream Defenders and like just being there for so long. It's like a youth activist organization led by like especially for Black individuals.
Right.
Like it was, I'm pretty sure it was formed after Trayvon Martin.
It was, yep.
Yeah, so it's very focused on that, and especially like laws like that like prevent Black people from thriving. You know, it's just like focuses on abolition especially.
Cool. Talk a little bit about the Gainesville chapter.
Okay.
Shout them out.
Okay. So Goddsville specifically, first and foremost, Goddsville is like the best name.
I love that name.
It's the best
I do.
name.
I thought that's pretty cool.
And I feel
very
like
clever.
Gainesville chapter, it has like a lot of like college young activists because it's in Gainesville. It's very like proactive. Like I've worked with other chapters, but Goddsville, like from what I've seen, I just feel like more comfortable obviously just being here with Gainesville and just like feeling like more of a family that's willing to help people learn about how to be an organizer, just like carry the weight. Like it's very nice to be in that type of community where you can feel like you can uplift each other. So like that's what I really like about Goddsville. Like I'm never like afraid to say, oh, I can't do this, or like I need help with this, something like that. It's never like that. I'm not saying other chapters aren't like that, but I have to especially say that.
No, I love that. That's a nice selling point there. I want to talk a little bit about the importance of knowing your rights. So let's start there. Okay. Why should the average guy, like I said to them, the guy working at Taco Bell, why should he know his rights?
Because he's important.
Okay, I love that. And I'm not trying to minimize people that work at Taco Bell, but you're just talking about the common man.
I just had to say it.
Absolutely. I could have worked at Taco Bell before, definitely.
But that's the thing, like, people are important, and a lot of these laws are being passed with like vague or like evasive language that are specific for like certain groups.
Say that.
Like it's very concerning how like Florida legislation is working right now. Like it's almost as if we're regressing from our efforts from the summer, and it's kind of concerning because like if we don't know what this language is or like even analyze it, then we're just going to be like hurt by it. And it's kind of scary when you think about it because this is something that's like easily slipped. Like some bills have already passed through like education purposes even, and also the anti-protest bill. So it's kind of again like aggressing in different aspects. Yeah. So it's very scary.
Yeah, it's very reactionary, to progress. You see the reactions, and they're manifesting through policy. Let's talk about the importance of attending this Know Your Rights training, which is going to be on June 26th, the We Keep Us Safe Community Know Your Rights training, June 26th from 6 to 8 at the Wilhelmina Johnson Center at 321 Northwest 10th Street. And let's start there. Walk the people through what they're going to experience coming to this event.
Well, first of all, I'm glad you put the whole address because
I didn't. I got you. Don't worry about that.
You. But what people can expect, we're just trying to have a community conversation primarily. Like that's one of the most important parts to understand. It's just like it's not gonna be like, oh, we're just gonna like all this information towards you. It's not gonna be like an assault of information. It's more like we're gonna even have like an open panel of lawyers. So, like, people can ask questions. We already have, like, a QR code where people can ask questions about anything. It doesn't even have to be about HB1. We're going to have, like, speakers that are, like, willing to answer questions, too. It's going to have, like, information from, like, people, even, like, artists, like, poets are coming.
I saw that. Spoken word.
So, it's not going to be more, like an assembly. It's supposed to be like a conversation or an event that like welcomes people to have like an open discussion, anything they want to answer, and just like honestly a good environment with food.
Yeah, sounds like a necessary vibe.
Exactly.
Food, spoken word, Q&A from professionals, and resources, man. So That's major. So first of all, thank you for you guys for putting this all together. I know you guys are teaming up with the BSU as well as Mama's Club. So shout out to Miss Faye Williams. She's definitely a staple and a very important figure in our community. I want you to talk. I know there's going to be a focus on, and you just mentioned it. The House bill, the HB1, the House Bill 1, which is the protest law that our let me find the right. Sorry, let me find a good adjective for our how do I say interesting governor.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't. I want to make my mama proud. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be cussing nobody out today. But anyway, yeah, talk about what exactly that bill is and what it aims to do.
Okay, so HB1 basically it's the anti-protest bill, and I want to specifically say that it targets protesters from the past summer. Black Lives Matter protesters, black protesters.
So just like I mentioned earlier, you saying that this is reactionary policy.
Very reactionary, because you can see like within the bill, the governor can like reject any cuts to like police budgets. Like that can be rejected. So that's specifically something that was aimed for in the Black Lives Matter protest.
Right.
So it's clear that this bill, that it would make protesting aggravated rioting felony and up to like 15 years in imprisonment.
Get out of here.
15 years. It's increasing misdemeanors, things that were previously misdemeanors into felonies, and the even worst part about it is like the language is so vague on what aggravated rioting is. It could be just like 3 more people.
Talk about why that's problematic.
Because
that vague language.
Anyone could just, you could be doing anything, and it could just, well, not anything.
No, I agree with you. It kind of gives the police kind of almost. It just gives them what I would think is just a little too much discretion.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. You could just very easily be arrested and like tried as a felon for something that like literally only 3 people, like all 3 could be charged as felons for just like being loud, because this language is not specific. Anything that's like disturbing the peace or along those lines could be described as aggravated rioting. So it's just basically a trap. It's literally a trap.
It's yeah. And one thing I do want to say is that reactionary policies like this, a lot of times it's because of progress.
Right.
So I want to just be a little encouraging. Like, they wouldn't be doing this if we weren't on to something. You know what I mean?
That's true.
You know, if there wasn't actual traction being made, then it wouldn't. I mean, because we see that from our national politics as well. You know, with even storming the Capitol in January. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about more about how the general public can be involved, and not just this upcoming event on Saturday, but just in civil protests and just more social issues in general. Where can I start when I clock out of Taco Bell? Let's switch to Chick-fil-A next time, okay. I guess. Man.
Okay, well, honestly, it doesn't even have to be like full-on membership to like some place like DD. It could be like in the programs that DD has, like the free grocery store, just like volunteering there, or even like telling people about it to spread the word for that like specific service. It's just like different aspects. Like, you don't have to like be fully in if you want to get more involved. You could just like research even, or just like educate yourself about like different like laws that are being passed in the state, also your community, because like the local level is very important when it comes to like your day-to-day life. Yeah, that is essential. Like, it is very important to keep up to date with that. Facts. So that's a good step too. And there's other organizations besides like DD that's like involved with like more towards like abolition work, and honestly just participating like in those things if you're interested. It's just like, it's not, the most important thing is to just like again, know your rights, educate yourself on different things, and just like help spread the word, because like anyone can do anything,
Right.
and it's important to like make sure people know what they can do.
Right. Well, one thing I've recognized in our demographic is a lot of times, unfortunately, we found out about our rights only after they've been incurred upon. Where so it's not until you actually go to court that you realize, oh damn, actually, if I would have did this, you know what I mean. So that's why I really want to give you guys your kudos there for just stepping in and education is so vital, you know. I did want to shout out, and I don't know if you know this on the top of the head. I really hope you do. The Cash App for Godsville. I like to shout that out because there might be some people that might not be able to attend, and I can't find it right now. I've had it before. I'll get it and I'll post it on our in the comments on this video. So don't fret. Sorry to catch you off guard. I usually have that wrote down.
I was not
so
thinking about money right now.
That's actually on me. But money helps, and there may be people that they might have to work or they might on a vacation or whatever, and that might be their way of supporting you guys. Because I mean, if I'm gonna donate, I would like to, I'm gonna donate to somebody that I think is actually making a difference. So, we keep us safe. The Community Know Your Rights training. It is on January 26th, which is Saturday. June 26th. What am I doing, man? I got you. I don't know. Maybe I'm drunk. From 6 to 8 p.m., June 26th, which is the day after tomorrow, at the Wilhelmina Johnson Center at 321 Northwest 10th Street. You're going to have food, spoken words, professional Q&A, Q&A from professionals. So we're going to have lawyers there and things of that sort, as well as resources. And you mentioned you guys actually have the QR code now so people can go and submit questions. Right. So visit the Facebook page of Gainesville Dream Defenders of Godsville. So it's I have to always do this. It's GODDSville. Got it. Put that in Facebook. It'll come right up. I also have the website for registration, which is bit.ly/HB1 Gainesville. You can go there now to register for the event. I just want to say thank you to you, Zora, and that awesome name of yours. And to the Dream Defenders, to the Black Student Union, to Mama's Club. Shout out to Faye Williams. One thing I will mention to you, I don't know how privy you are to it. There's always been a concerted effort to have a disconnect between the Black kids on campus and the Black community here.
What do you mean?
What I mean by that is a lot of times through the school itself, they will purposely try to keep the Black kids on campus away from the local Black community here through a number of different ways. And that's been historical here. So when I do see organizations, a lot of times it's the Dream Defenders and others, don't get me wrong, that actually branch out of 13th Street and come into communities and actually take on the matters that are actually happening here. It really makes me very happy, and I'm really thankful for what you guys are doing, because I mean this work that you guys are doing, it affects people for the rest of their lives. So thank you on behalf of the community. Any last words? Anything you wanna shout? Let me shout out Manu. I gotta shout out Manu. That's my dog. Yeah, Manu. Excuse me. I gotta shout out Manu. I've never met him in person, but we've had a relationship for over the past couple of years where I've met remarkable people through him. So shout out to Manu. I'm sorry. Shout out to Manu. And I gotta get him up here.
They're like very like into the DD. They're like the head. They're very supportive. I love them.
Thank you. Yes. Gotta get them up here because they are the man. Thank you. Any last words? Anything that I didn't mention? What's going on up there?
Nothing really besides like remember if you're scanning QR code, it's like any questions. We want this to be like an open community like conversation. Like that's important for this event. It's just like don't feel like it has to be just HP1. If you have like anything else you want to talk about. We're just here to like have a conversation about our rights and like obviously go right we want, but it's more about like what's important like,
Nice.
in your life as well.
Awesome. Are there, you guys got any upcoming events after that?
I have to check. Honestly, my mind was just on this.
It's all good.
Like,
And
I know I should probably like slide something.
you're good. What you do is let me if with a week or two advance, you guys shoot me a flyer or something. I can run an ad for it. You know what I mean? So that way we can always try to keep the community abreast of what you guys got going on. I want to say thank you to everything that you do. Shout out to Kiara as well. And yeah, anytime you guys got something going, I'd love to have you back.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely, man. Hey, don't go nowhere, y'all. Keep it locked right here on Florida Hip Hop Radio. We got the We Keep Us Safe Community Know Your Rights training. Day after tomorrow, June 26th, not January, from 6 to 8 at the Wilhelmina Johnson Center at 321 Northwest 10th Street. Shout out to Mama's Club and BSU, and shout out to the Dream Defenders. Y'all make sure that y'all are there. Let's go right to it, y'all. We're going to get into some 2 Chainz. I'm going away, y'all. Hey, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for having me. That was my first time being like interviewed